Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Kentucky Sweet once again with updates on what happened at my appointment yesterday for the bariatric center. Um, I had to be there at 7:15, and there were several other people that had the exact same schedule as me. That's why it's an all-day appointment. So first, I went in and they had me fill out some papers, and then we all went in classroom type setting and had these two notebooks full of paperwork, and we had to read. So um, we looked at a video that had all three procedures on there so that we would have a clear understanding of which one that we wanted based on um, how the procedure was and the threats and the pluses and minuses of each one. I still stuck with my lapband after seeing that because, like I had said in my first video, the gastric sleeve hadn't been around long enough to know anything about. And as I learned today, insurance doesn't even cover that. So if you get a gastric sleeve, you would have to pay for it all out of pocket. Um, so we watched the videos and then we took a test based on the video. We watched another video and we took a test based on that video. Then I had a 340 question psychological evaluation. And it took a long time to do that. So um, we were sitting in a room, we're filling out our paperwork, and they would come get us one at a time. I went, I had blood work done, and I was officially weighed in for my first step, and they give you this little thing. It looks like a receipt, but I don't know if you can see it. I wrinkled it up. It has my weight. It has, she wrote the date up on that side. The date up at the top as to what day I officially started the program. And it has your BMI, how much you weigh, which your weight and all that, and it also shows how much of your body weight is water, how much is fat, how much is muscle, and it's just a good little thing to track. You can say day one, this is where I was, and then after your surgery, they'll give you another one each time that you go for your fills and checkups and things like that. But anyway, back to the appointment. So we did that, and then we continued doing our paperwork. Then I met with a dietitian, which I told you I had to um, do the food log last week. And she just basically goes over your eating habits with you and as to what you eat and when you eat, the times and stuff like that, and explains to you what types of things you can eat after you have the lap band, and also how much you can eat after you have the lap band. And directly afterwards, you can't eat very much. It's basically as long as you get protein in, they're happy. But the portion size that she wants you to eat, the maximum, is however much is in like a smart one or a lean cuisine. That's as much as they would ever want you to eat at one time. Um, Something that I found out about the lap band though, versus the gastric bypass. In the gastric bypass, your food doesn't go into the actual part of the stomach, your real stomach, that you that absorbs the nutrients and vitamins and all that good stuff. It goes in this little sack versus that, so you don't absorb your nutrients that you need. So if you choose to have the gastric bypass, you have to be on vitamin supplements. Um, was it protein? and calcium supplements just all your life. Versus the lap band, this is another reason why I said I'm glad I chose the lap band. Um, you still use your stomach, so you absorb those things. But you cannot eat, you cannot drink 15 minutes before, cannot drink anything during, or 15 minutes after you eat. Because you have so little food in your stomach, they want it to stay in there as long as possible so you can absorb the nutrients that you need and don't have to take supplements. They said the water kind of flushes it out of you quickly, so they want it to stay in there as long as possible. If you're eating something kind of dry, they say you can only take a sip of water. Okay, so that was that part. Like I said, I had 4 appointments yesterday. So that was the dietitian. I had a physical, and I actually got to choose which um, lap band device I wanted to have during my physical. They had two models. They had the original one, which is, I believe it's called the lapband amp. I believe that's what it's called. Then they had a competitor, which Johnson and Johnson now makes a lap band. And looking at them, they look like they would do the same thing. The Johnson and Johnson one is kind of grayish color. The other one is white. They both have, you know, both the same basic idea. The lap band one, the lap band amp, is the sack inside the band has like little lines in it, versus the Johnson and Johnson one, which is just straight band around it. There was one difference that I saw that basically made my choice for me. When you have to get filled when you get your lap band done every so often, where they shoot the saline into the sack and tighten it up around your stomach to restrict how much you can eat. Well, when they do that, they numb your stomach, and they have this big long, they feel on your stomach, then they numb it. Then they have this big long needle that they have to stick in and try to get it into that port that is on the lap band. Well, it's just kind of in there. So the Johnson and Johnson port is kind of flat. It's like it's circle, and then it has a little. Ooh, sorry. Then it has a little cord off of it, and this thing right here that I'm pretending would be the what they stick the needle in. It's flat though, but the original one is round, and then it's like raised. If you could imagine a button, if you take a button out of your pants of jeans and flip it upside down, it has the big circle on the bottom, then a small circle at top, and that's the port for that one. So I chose that one just for the simple fact that it will be easier to feel when they're filling around in your stomach for that port. I think it'll be easier to feel the one that has that raised side versus the flat one, so that they wouldn't have to fish around, you know, to find your port. Um, so they took medical history and all that with my physical, did just a basic physical. Then I had a psychological evaluation. He went over the 340 questions that I had to fill out, and asked me some other questions, and basically said that yes, I was mentally healthy to have this surgery, and made sure that I had a clear understanding of it. And then it was over. Um, my next step is they will call me on a Tuesday. She said this particular site only does these appointments on Tuesdays. They will call me on a Tuesday, and they will call me in for a Tuesday And that appointment, I will actually talk to the surgeon, and it'll be another all-day appointment. I'm not sure all the appointments that I'll have that day, but it's all day as well. And I schedule my surgery from there.